So I just thought it'd be useful to share what I mean by being a spiritual entrepreneur and to explain the qualities of a spiritual entrepreneur. Because I believe everybody is spiritual, not just a few of us. And it's not just that somebody is a therapist, for example, or a coach or a healer. Actually, everybody on the planet is actually spiritual, but they don't necessarily know it yet. And so when you come into business, I believe actually by developing your spiritual side within your business, you'll get a great balance between what you're offering, what you're getting as part of your personal life as well, but also what you're offering those people that you're with. And it's very much about being in service, and being in service about, supporting others, helping others, serving through your wisdom within your business, rather than operating with ego where your insecurities will start popping up because you're like, oh, I can't really share what's going on. I can't really share what I know and that's your ego, taking over. It's very much about, I've got to get this book out because actually more people die if I don't do the book, which is exactly what I was saying to myself when I wrote, Are You Worth It? Because I don't have children and because I don't have any dependents, apart from my pets, obviously, and are very important to me, it meant that actually when I was high depressed, I didn't have anything to hang on to get me through the situation that I was in. So what I did was actually I went to the depths of who I am and said, well, what's going to make this most important? Actually, it's not about me. It's not about whether I haven't got the money to pay for things. It isn't about the fact that whether I'm not getting clients. It's not the fact that I can't get my business to work. It was very much about, if I do not share the therapy skills that I have, the knowledge and wisdom that I have about business, about saving lives, more people will die. And that's the absolute truth, because I'm a very, very powerful healer. And that's not egotistical. That is just what I am. And I accept that honour of that's who I am, what I am. And within the books that I'm creating and the resources and the courses that I'm creating, I'm sharing that wisdom and that knowledge to empower other business owners who may be in the, acting as therapists, coaches, or healers, to actually empower them to move forward to heal even more people. But actually, as a business owner, I'd always advocate that you actually get, 3 key therapy tools. I would train myself in neurolinguistic programming. I'm a trainer of neurolinguistic programming. I would train yourself in Reiki. I'm a trainer of Reiki. I'm a Reiki master teacher, so I can give the highest level of the qualifications. And I'd also train you in the balance procedure, which I'm also a trainer of, just recently. And the reason I say that is actually I'm using those skills to actually embed really fantastic content within my business about what I'm creating, but how it's supporting other people through that point of view. And if you do the same, you'll find that actually your wisdom and truth and who you are and living your life purpose will be so much more fulfilling through your business, but also the relationships you have with your customers, with your suppliers, with anybody who comes into contact with your business will be so much more empowered, confident, profitable as well by learning those skills. So it is very much about a quality of an effective spiritual entrepreneur is to be in service, but not sacrificing yourself by being in service. You do have to be careful that you don't have that belief you're going to sacrifice your happiness to serve, because that's when you're an overgiver and you're not actually looking after yourself. The second quality is actually about being grateful for your life, being grateful for all the lessons you've gone through. My God, I've been through some tough stuff, but I'm really grateful for it because it's taught me so much and has brought so much to me that is making my life so much more magical right now and enjoyable. So really look at what that's all about for yourself and appreciate everybody who comes into contact with you, whether that's within your business or personal life. Know that every spirit who comes in is here to give you a lesson or a blessing through it, and just appreciate those people, value people, because we often don't value the very things that we have. We take these for granted. The next thing is actually about trusting your spiritual guidance which flows to you and acting on it by giving value to your tribe or the people who are following you, whether you don't like the word tribe. So it's very much about, when I'm meditating, I will get information through and I go, oh, that'd be a great blog post. Oh, that'd be a fantastic book for whatever. And I'll just allow that guidance thing. I mean, I'll write it down. I've got, actually, I'll show you now, actually. I've got this. Now, I haven't acted on them all, but it's, little ideas. And it's full of my scribbled notes of different things that I've captured, different notes and things which I've made, which are value to give to my customers. And it allows people to get to know me and to understand me. And I've got so much to share, so much to share. And actually I can't share it all because I need to have time off myself. So I write it down as I get those ideas and I pan that into my business plan to be able to share that with other people and to give that value. So as a healer, I don't feel I have to give everything for free, because why should I? If I was a mechanic, I wouldn't give my skills free, or a lawyer. But actually I am giving value in all different shapes and forms to other people. So it's also about being attractive to the universe. So in my book, Are You Worth It?, I talk about the attributes of being attractive to the universe, about being positive and being happy and being grateful and, looking after yourself, the whole self-care, etc. And that's about continually working yourself. I continually work myself every day. I notice what maybe I'm resisting in doing work-wise, for example, what might be not getting the results that I'm looking for. And I will use techniques on myself every day to move myself through that, whether that be meditation, whether it be balance procedure, whether it be saying an affirmation, whether it's looking at my vision board, lots of different things that I would use on myself to actually get myself on point and getting the results that I'm looking for. And it's very much about releasing any resistance you feel in yourself. Now, if you're not in flow, your energy not flowing, you're resisting, you're not trusting things are right for you. And you have to work through, what is that energy about? Why am I resisting it? Sometimes we resist change. We are very stubborn and go, no, I'm going in this direction. This is my direction. This is what I feel comfortable with. And actually, you're supposed to be in a completely different direction. And it's about trusting that guidance that is coming through to you as well. So shifting your mindset, it's so important. Obviously, I'm a mindset shifter. I'm all about shifting mindsets, whether that's shifting you thinking in a different direction for your business, whether it's shifting weight from you, shifting depression, whatever it is. But it's about continually improving your behavior towards self-care and self-love. So it's about looking at, am I drinking enough water during the day, or am I taking time out to meditate, or am I being kind to myself? Am I saying good words to myself? Am I really beating myself? I'm saying I'm the most horrible person on the planet, or not, I'm not good enough. So shifting your mindset to actually work more towards your self-care and self-love, having your nails done, for example, whatever it is that floats your boat to do self-care that makes you feel good. For some reason, me having nails on, I have false nails on, actually makes me feel more confident. I don't know why, but it does. So I have them done, okay? Because it's a wise investment for making me feel tickety-boo, okay? So self-motivation as you're in flow with your energy rather than out of flow. So you're motivated to support, and that goes very much into the being in service. When you understand what your life purpose is and you understand what you're here for, you'll be motivated. When I was not motivated because of, I didn't have any kids to write my book for, when I was like, didn't have anybody to earn money for, it was just for me, it was like, it wasn't really that important. When you get on point with this is very much about being motivated, actually being able to get out. You could be in the crappiest state and just go, no, come on, I'm getting out of this. This isn't about me. This is about who those people I'm here to serve. And it shifts your energy to be more in flow. It is very much about being in the learner mindset. It is very much about being who you are as a person, and being authentic is a big part of that motivation as well. It's about being heart-centered about your decisions, and so that you're looking through the eyes of love at everybody. So when I say being heart-centered, the heart is 5,000 times more powerful than your head. But academically, I'm a teacher trainer, we're made to believe that our heads are the most important. Now, I'm not saying that what our thoughts are giving off, are very important, because that's what's drawing things to us. But actually, our heart governs what is right for us. Our passion governs what's right for us. We should be doing what we love and really just getting into that zone and into that energy, and we'll feel so much more fantastic for doing so. And when you work from a place of being heart-centered and you look at others through the eyes of love, I can trigger people all the time, unfortunately. I will ask all the questions. I don't mean it. I'm just inquisitive, asking things, and I can see people, go, oh, I'm not sure what wants that. But actually, I'm not judging the other person. I'm asking because I'm genuinely interested. I'm loving, want to know. I'm interested. Get that from a mother. But it can trigger another person if they think, oh, that's a bit much. But actually, it's about understand that I don't look through the eyes of judging somebody about whether they're fat, thin, small, big, black, white. I see everybody as an equal, absolutely everybody, because when you chunk this all up, actually we are all love that we're separated. We take these to higher consciousness. So you want to be working from a place of love rather than fear. When we are working from a place of fear within our business, we're fearing that we're not going to be able to pay our bills. We're fearing the fact that we're not going to be able to pay our staff. We're fearing the fact that coronavirus is going to get us. We're fearing the fact that, fear is a terrible emotion for your body. Fear actually stands for false evidence appearing real. We falsify things in our mind. We make things bigger. That's where cognitive behavioral therapy comes in, when they're talking about with your maximizing a thought, because you're making a thought much bigger than it would be, or you minimize it, so make something as much smaller than it is, not dealing with certain stuff. So it's very much about work from a place of love. Notice where you're fearful and ask yourself, what is that about? How can I work on that energy? How can I work on those beliefs to change that resistance so it is love? And that is where the love game comes in from my book, about understanding being of the learner mindset and working from a point of love, because your heart, your physical health will be massively improved by doing so. Another quality of being an effective spiritual entrepreneur is that you listen to your internal guidance, and that shows us signs within your body. Okay, when you notice that your stomach is going, it might need food. Or it might also be that actually you're feeling comfortable in that particular position that you're in. It might be with a particular person. You're thinking, I'm not sure about this person, but you want to be looking through the eyes of love at them, but you might not, because that might be a lesson for you that you're not. They might be triggering something in you as part of it. It's important that you take action to release any tension, pains, or aches. So often we leave things to the absolute end before we fix things, and then we're trying to fix them quickly. So if you're doing this as a continual process, looking after yourself and actually releasing any tension that you're feeling, you will feel so much better. Whether that is going for a walk, whether that is doing some meditation, whether it's booking yourself in for a massage or having your nails done, whatever it is that actually allows you to release that. Often it's about using techniques as well. So I can do a whole range of things. I might do Reiki on myself, or I might do tapping on myself, or I might use my balance cards on myself. There's lots of different things that I can do to feel so much better each day. And as a spiritual entrepreneur, being to be effective and profitable and successful in your business, to be able to serve the many thousands of people that you're there to serve, then it's important that you're looking after yourself, because you will burn out if you don't. And if you saw me 5 years ago, you'd seen the burnt out Liz, who was wearing very dark clothes, who looked different. Actually, I think I look younger now than I did 5 years ago, quite frankly. So follow your gut instinct and your sixth sense without questioning it. We all have it. We are all psychic, whether we like it or not. It is a skill that is within us, and we can read other people. We're reading each other's energy the whole time. When I say you want to work from love, we have a heart chakra that is here. We want our heart chakra actually to be always be open, but actually in reality, what we're doing is when we're meeting people, we're closing it and going, I'm not sure I trust you. And then as we get to know someone, we trust them and we open the heart chakra to that person. But actually, the best way to be is just open and loving to everybody. You're not doing that judgment to everybody, because you'll feel much more in alignment with yourself, but trusting that gut instinct in different situations will really help you. And your sixth sense allow you go, does this feel right or it doesn't feel right for me? And trust that, because often we don't, and we go and later and go, what did I not go down that road before? Because actually I would have not got stuck in that traffic jam. Trust. I can't tell you enough how much you need to trust on that element. So it's also about making sure that you're aligned and balanced all the time. That's why I love the balance procedure. I've been using the balance for over 2 years. Didn't really 100% understand how a little set of cards could really be that effective, but they are. And actually now that I've become the trainer, I really, I'm very passionate about getting it out to other people and understanding about it, because you want your head, heart and gut in alignment. If you ever read the book Embraining, I can't remember what the authors are called. They're quite complex authors, I can't remember them. We've got a head brain, a heart brain and a gut brain within our body. You can't see it, okay? But the we have it goes into our parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. So you want those brains to be linked, and the way to link them is through breathing and through meditation. And by linking those together, you'll be in more alignment with them. But often what happens is we get out of alignment. So we'll make decisions for our business from our head. So, or from fear, for example. So we're being fearful about going, and then our anxiety, and we're worried about whether we're going to be able to pay the bills, whether we're going to be able to get enough clients in, whether we're going to be able to be good enough to do things. And actually, that's not the job. Fear is not the job of the head. The job of the gut is about dealing with courage, because your head is about creativity, your heart is about compassion, and your gut is about courage. So you need to know what different brain works with different elements of you and connect those together through breathing. When your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system are out of whack, that is when you feel stressed. That is when you get into fight or flight. That is when your trauma starts hitting you. So it is about learning how to bring those brains together, if you like, through meditation, through understanding who you are, being aligned, understanding how to be aligned with your energy every day, so that you are focused about where you want to be rather than focusing in the past, or rather way off in the future. You need to come back on yourself. So another essential quality of an effective spiritual entrepreneur is that you're a being rather than doing person, and you'll find it easier to clear your mind by doing so. What happens is when we've had certain things happen in our business or our personal life, we will find other things to do so that we don't deal with some emotional things that are going on. So it might be doing, we might throw ourselves into being the chairman of a particular, chairman of governors, or we might be the helping out the parish council, or we might be helping out with a charity. It can be all sorts of different things. Or we fill our time with going to the cinema or going to watching TV or whatever. We fill our time with things to do. And in the end, you're always doing things. You're never actually sitting and being with yourself. And actually, when you learn to be with yourself and deal with anything that's maybe not feeling quite so great, it feels fantastic, because you're actually within yourself and you are fully connected about who you are. And that's, as a spiritual entrepreneur, that is how you want to be. That is how you'll be most effective, and be able to clear your mind and be clearly focused about where you're going every single day by developing these skills. You want to be using energy techniques like Reiki, balance procedure, energy light method, possibly. I'm not trained in that. What's it called? Emotional freedom technique, or any other energy techniques that there are out there, because there's plenty, to shift your thoughts which are affecting your behaviour and your results. So in any one day, things can happen. If your business gets bigger and bigger, and you've got staff, and then staff having a go at you, and some suppliers, you can imagine how pulled you can be in all different directions. But when you actually have a set of tools that actually allow you to deal with those situations and be able to deal with how you communicate with other people in those situations, and to bring your energy back and just be calm and focused, your productivity goes up massively, your profitability goes up massively. You understand where you're going. You will be so much more effective. So really consider, whether you are one of those people who's got all those different things going on and you're all over the place, or whether you are cool, calm, and collected, and you are being able to carry things out in a strategic way, helping, leading people with you, inspiring people with you through the process of your business. So there is a massive need to be self-aware about your behaviour and emotions in all situations, personally and professionally. So, if anybody follows me on Facebook, you'll know that I do not share any of my dirty linen on Facebook. Okay, and I've gone through, quite a challenging time really in the 10 years that I've been on Facebook, and that just hasn't been shared. There might have been the odd thing that I've put on there, but very little. I've always been aware that people are following me for positivity, so why would they want to know some awful things? But also, I have an audience who are very empathic, who are very caring, and will get drawn into my crap. And actually, I don't want them to, because that's mine, and actually that's not theirs, and that's making them feel worse, which will actually impact on their health and will have a knock-on effect. And you will find that other people will be following you and being inspired by you, and they're looking for you to be authentic, they're looking for you to be in your power, they're looking for you for confidence, for wisdom, for guidance, and you need to be congruent with that. I was due to bring out my book Are You Worth It out in 2015, but I knew at the time I was not congruent with what I said in the book. Whilst I thought that's what you should do, I wasn't in 100% habit patterns of what I said in the book. I am now, okay? And it's so important to me that I am. And sometimes I fall off the wagon and I go back to it and I go and read my own book again and go, right, okay, I've missed those bits. I'm going to go back to those and embed those even better as habits for myself. So this is very much about you being congruent, being authentic, and doing what you say you're going to do. So many people do not do what they say they're going to do. They get empty promises. No, yes, of course I'll send you that document. Yes, of course I'll do that, and they don't. And actually, how does trust get broken? Because people don't do what they say they're going to do. So the only person who can do what they say they're going to do is you. So if I ever am unsure about, somebody's asked me to do something, I write a note. I've got lists everywhere, and I'll go, even if it's in 2 weeks' time, and I'll promise in a period of time, I won't say I'll do it tomorrow. If I know that I'm never going to have time to do it, I will say, a couple of weeks' time, I'll send you that. That's not a problem, but I will do it eventually. Remind me if I don't. Yeah? But so many people let people down all the time. And this is about you taking responsibility for your actions, for who you are, and having integrity. And that is so important through the whole process of being a spiritual entrepreneur and being a really effective and profitable one too. So coming round this up, we've finally got about understanding the need to ground yourself if you're too much in your head as well. So I talk about being, there's a difference between being, spiritual and practicality. And sometimes a spiritual entrepreneur can be a little bit too airy-fairy about what they're doing. And they're in, language that maybe people don't understand. And they're talking more sort of therapeutic language maybe. And they're not taking action on some of the practical things they have to do. So whilst I 100% believe in The Secret, if you haven't read The Secret, go and read The Secret, and the film The Secret, and I'm absolutely love the book, The Magic, about it's all about gratitude. You do actually have to take action. It's, the law of attraction, for the law of attraction to work, it is ask what you want, which is asking, divine, ask another person as well for support and help, or for their whatever they can give you, that you're needing. Believe it's possible and you will receive it. But you do have to take inspired action. You do have to take action, do it. And what I see time and time again with spiritual entrepreneurs is they do not take the action that they need to take to actually get, which is the practical steps. So, their business plan is in their head. It's not written down. Well, for the law of attraction to work, it works when it's much better when it's actually written down. You can see the different things, the different stages that need to happen. You'll miss a stage out, and you'll have to go back and learn from it and move forward, which takes you longer. So always do write down what your plans are, but the practical steps that you need to take to get to your end result about where you want to be, what you need to do to get that to work. So what I'm saying about grounding yourself is, if you're too airy-fairy, it is about sitting quietly and just putting, as if you're imagining putting roots down into the earth to anchor you down, that you're not so much in your head, and get more into your heart and actually ask your heart, what is it, if it wasn't, I wasn't going to overthink this, what would you like to do if you're not used to doing this? What heart would you like to do? What are you passionate about? What is it that would be good for you, heart? And just listen to the answer and see what your heart says, because actually your heart always wins. As I say, it's 5,000 times more powerful than your head, because it will often overanalyze and overthink things as well. And finally, this is the most absolute attribute of a spiritual entrepreneur, is being a go-giver, not a go-getter. Okay, so what I mean by a go-giver, if you haven't read the book, and it is one of my favourites by Bob Berg and David Allen Mann or something like that. Sorry. Anyway, it's Bob Berg, the Go-Giver. And go and read the book about the Go-Giver. And the Go-Giver has 5 different attributes of what you need to have. And I'm not going to go through the 5 because I might forget the 5, but they're basically about doing your best, being a good receiver, giving more value than the payment that you receive. And I can't remember the other 2. I think it's one about growing your audience or whatever is another thing, and connecting to others. But it's very much about giving to others and supporting others, but not devaluing yourself through that process. And by being a go-giver and not being having to get as much as you can out of business yourself, and actually slowing down as well, is a big part of being an effective and a good quality in a spiritual entrepreneur, is that by being that go-giver, you will actually gain more. And the amount of contacts I've received, resources I've received, I've had free rooms, I've had support like nothing else you can imagine through networking. But it is also about understanding how to network and how to give through your networking, so that you're supporting, but you're also receiving through that networking too. So I hope you've enjoyed this video about the essential qualities to be an effective spiritual entrepreneur. They do feature in my next book that will be out next year, Awaken the Vision Within, which I'm very excited to be bringing to the world. I've been wanting to bring it for a period of time, but hey ho. It's also within the workbooks of the group coaching that starts on the 7th of October. So if anybody's interested in being supported with their business as a spiritual entrepreneur, coming up soon, then do get in touch.